Whatever path you were on, whatever inspired you to come here today, we honor you and we welcome you. And now, our message.
Just staying in this place for a moment, allow me to do an evocation to kind of anchor all of this in. Being still and quiet and listening to the inner voice. All that we're speaking of, all of this gratitude, all of this gratefulness, all of that comes from one place, from your heart, from that spiritual, divine place we sometimes call love, or God, or Spirit. To know that it is with us at all times, that we are never alone, that it exists as part of us, that it flows through us, that it emanates from us always. Love and gratitude and gratefulness. Today, this month, we choose to be in this place to especially recognize all that we are grateful for, all that we recognize that we give great thanks for. We open our hearts and we allow this to flow into our life, into our experiences, into all that exists around us, that is part of us, that is part of this wonderful world. To know the God, to know that Spirit, to know that the divine oneness, this ultimate intelligence, this reality of nature and love and life exists, that we exist within it, and that we are co-creators in our own life, in our own experience, and it truly is wonderful. This moment, how we feel now, is how we are meant to be. Just sit with that for a moment to know this is what I am meant to express, to receive every day. Same thing. Thank you. So I think we are ready to know thyself. Reverend Elk is going to tell us all about that. Let's sit there.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. It's the Thanksgiving month, my favorite month. I say that about every month. I particularly like this month of Thanksgiving. And I love the talk that I'm allowing to express through me today, which is know thyself, know thyself. And we've been, Reverend Lyle has supported this talk with the reading known as tones, through the music of being grateful. So I want to explore what it means to know thyself. There's that ancient Delphic maxim, dictum, know thyself. And it's such a short little statement, but it's so profound. Unless it's not. Right? It's profound if you look at it that way, or it's just a couple of words thrown together if you look at it that way. But here at the Satya Center, we have a passion to go deeper, to explore more fully our nature, our true nature, to wake up, to become self-realized. And so that statement, that dictum, know thyself, becomes a gateway, if you will, a gateway into a whole new paradigm. The ancient sages and saints have asked us to ponder the question, who am I? Who am I? So this kind of goes along with that. And then Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. So what does that mean? What does it mean to be true to yourself? What does it mean there's something more to me than this? It seems that most of our human population are just comfortable with this, the body and the mind and what they do. But are you happy on that surface level? Are you happy with who you are and the roles you play, the titles you have, and what you do? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe there's days yes, and maybe there's days no. Well, the wonderful news is, here at the Satya Center, we teach spiritual principles that enable you to change those outer circumstances, change the body, change the mind, change the outside circumstances of your life. You don't just have to settle with the body and the mind and life as it shows up. Science of Mind teaches that we get to actually step into our co-creative capacity and begin to take a bigger role in the creation of the masterpiece of our lives. So know thyself. So let us explore that statement. Who are you? Your body, a human body, having this incarnation, maybe 100 years on this planet. You'll get to know the body, and it's always changing, right? It's always changing. So we can learn from that. We can learn that nature, because we are a part of nature, nature is always changing. So we don't get to be attached to this thing, this body, the way it is, because it's always changing. Can we be content with that kind of change? Not if you turn the news on, because you've got to have bigger lips, smaller eyes, less wrinkles, shorter, whatever. So no. A lot of us aren't happy with it. So there's a changing nature to reality. So let us be content with that. What about our mind? We're body and we're mind. We think. We learn things. We learn bodies of knowledge and put that into our everyday life, and we could be quite happy with that. But is there more to knowing thyself than just the body and the mind? What about this spiritual essence? What about the ineffable? What about that part of us that is, we get little glimpses of now and again? Especially when we enter this spiritual path. We, through meditation and prayer and mindfulness and many other spiritual practices, we get to see that there's something more than just thinking and doing, and there's a sense of being. And that opens you up into a new doorway, a new realm of reality as we explore being present, as we explore how we're all one. That we're not individuals just struggling through this thing by ourselves, that we're actually here. And when you join a community, when you become part of a spiritual community, then we realize that we're not alone. And we can journey together and explore this thing called the self together. Individuals, but come together and create a synergy, an energy that is greater than the sum of our parts. And that's why it's been my mission in this incarnation to help create spiritual community, because I believe that we can expand and grow and know ourselves better in the structure of a spiritual community. It doesn't mean it's always easy. It doesn't mean it's just this one kumbaya type of experience. Because when you come into spiritual community, to know yourself, you're going to be facing yourself. And that isn't always pretty. It's not always easy when you come to look at yourself, because we're not all light and positive. There's our shadows. So we get to look at that and be okay with that, to have a level of contentment and peace with all of the aspects of who we are. And actually celebrate that and know that it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be eccentric. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay to be whatever you are, whoever you are. And so, know thyself. So what are we beyond the mind and beyond the body? What are we here for, as we sort of come into this earth plane and we have the body, we have the mind, and we have this spiritual something, this ineffable, this something within us that seems to be propelling us forward? Because we can, after we leave this plane, after we make our transition, the body's still here. What happens to the mind? The brain? The brain's no longer here. There's something that goes on. What is that? Where did you come from? What does our granddaughter always asks us? Who was I before I was born? Who was I before I was born? I think there's a Zen koan that, who were you before your parents were born, or something like that. That's a For a dyslexic, that's like, wait a second, I've got to sit down and ponder that one for a lifetime. So who are you? I believe that we are here having this human incarnation to get in touch with who we really are, and who that is maybe we explore that by what we desire. Maybe our desires will help us to find out who we are. And in our culture, we haven't really been encouraged to look at our desires as something positive. It's more of the negative. But what do you really want? What in your life feels super good? What in your life propels you forward? There's seeds within each of us, seeds of desire, of potentiality, that I believe we're here to express. Especially those ones that move life forward, that support all beings. I'm not talking about negative desires that don't really have a far-reaching positive effect. I'm talking about positive desires that move us forward, that get us into that zone of feeling like we're in the zone, where the whole universe is conspiring for our happiness. Those kinds of desires. So we all have seeds of desires within us. And what I know, because we're part of nature, that within every fruit there's seeds. And within that fruit, those seeds represent so much more than just that one fruit. That seed could be a whole forest. That fruit could be a whole forest. So just like the seeds of an apple that could create a whole orchard, you have seeds of desire within you that can create a life that, who knows how many it will feed? Who knows what you are here to do and what you could potentially give to the world through your desires that could uplift, inspire, heal, save a life? But if we leave those desires, those uninquired into desires and thoughts and intentions, if we leave them inside and we don't shine light, we don't nurture them, and we don't bring them out, and we don't talk about them, then they just lie dormant. I heard, I think it was Wayne Dyer talking about, don't come to the end of your days with your song still silent within you. So there's a song within you that is seeking to be expressed, There are seeds within you that are waiting to be planted. So that's what we do here at the center, at the Satya Center. We want to help you to discover your purpose, your seeds, and then give you the tools so that you can work with the natural laws of the universe, that you can tap into this power within you of identifying your seeds, your desires, building intentions, and then supporting those intentions and bringing them into full fruition. That's what we like to nurture here. And everyone's different. That's what we're doing with the youth, right? We're forming a band, and they've got all kinds of instruments that they're coming together to create beautiful music and song. And they can share that. Can you imagine the ripple out effect? Those elderly in the elder care homes that maybe haven't seen people come in and be joyful and happy and sing songs and make cards, and that creates a ripple out effect. So we have desires, we have intentions that come out of those desires. And those are usually based on what we value. So what are your values? What do you value in life? That will give you a key into the desires that are seeking to be expressed through you, only as you can do them. Because we're all so unique. Ernest Holmes says we're radically unique, differentiated beings. That means we each have our own unique seed and our own unique way of bringing it out into full bloom. Can you imagine a planet of people that are doing what they love to do and expressing themselves, and people are uplifted all around them? That's what we have the potential to do. And Ernest Holmes says it's just a thought away. Change your thinking and change your life. So maybe you've been thinking and acting in a certain way for a long time. Maybe you've been thinking and acting in a small way and creating an art piece, a masterpiece of your life in a way that isn't really fulfilling. So in order to create a new masterpiece, a new experience of life that is fulfilling, that you love, you just think in a new certain way, and you act in new certain ways, and then you get different results. The universe actually manifests in reflection to your new thoughts and your new actions. Know thyself is you being congruent with what you say, and what you think, and what you do, and how you feel. Body, mind, spirit, energy. When you're in alignment in that way, what you think, what you say, what you do, and how you feel, then you know yourself. And then the natural energy that you exude is gratitude. And gratitude and thanksgiving and appreciation are the most attractive energy in the universe. The most attractive energy in the universe. So if you want to attract what you want in life, if you want a happier life, a more passionate life, a more creative life, then have your thoughts, your words, your actions, your energy in alignment, have an attitude of gratitude, and then boom, that's it. That's you knowing yourself. That's you self-realized. That's you wide awake. That's you living by design instead of living by default. A new design for living, my class, if you really want to have this. So, you get to plant those seeds and create a ripple of change in your universe. Ernest Holmes said that it's hard for us to really believe this stuff because we have a tendency to go back to negative patterns of worrying and being fearful and thinking we're not good enough. And so because we do that, we keep creating the same old life. So in order to truly believe that this thing called the law of attraction works, that my thoughts create, all of that, we have to be able to prove it to ourselves. And so this is the funny thing about us human beings. This sounds so simple. But what we see is it's not that easy, because we slip into those old patterns. So to prove it to yourself, you have to develop the discipline to be positive, to have your thoughts, your words, your actions, your deeds, your energy in alignment. So prove it to yourself this week. When you catch yourself slipping into negativity, when you catch yourself being critical of someone else, when you catch yourself gossiping, I know none of you do that, but when you catch yourself talking about other people and other things that really are none of your business, move back to that place of power where your thoughts are in alignment with what you want. And just stop that well-worn rut behavior. So how would your life be this week if you weren't talking about other people, if you weren't in other people's business, if you were positive, if you weren't critical? How would that be for you? How would that be? I've tried it and it's really quiet. It's really quiet and I had hardly anything to say because it's like, oh. I realized when I did this that I actually, as spiritual as I think I am, I really had a tendency to be talking about things, just blah, blah, blah about things that really had no momentum forward. It was just stagnation, thinking and talking and acting. And I'm pretty good at not being critical out here in the world, but back in my house, you know, it's like, why did you leave the toilet seat up? Or why? You know, there's lots of little things that I can get into, and that's what I'm talking about. It's those little niggly things. It's not the big things. It's those little habits and little ways of thinking that keep us in sort of keep our lives being just the way they are. So just for this week, put a stop to being in other people's business. Another trick is to, when you're thinking a terrifying thought, and most of our thoughts are terrifying, that's what I've come to find out. When I'm thinking my terrifying thoughts, I just have to stop and just ask myself, is that true? That person doesn't like me. Is that true? Whose business am I in? That dress doesn't look good on you. Is that true? Can I absolutely be certain that that's true? I mean, where is my mind going? I'm leading myself down a path of keeping this paradigm in play. Change your thinking, change your life is changing your paradigm, changing the way you think about the world, the way you look at the world, stopping the habit to be critical and talking about other people's business, or even mentally thinking about other people's business. Be focused on what you desire. What do you want? We'll be exploring this in class, and most people don't know what they want. That's the shocking thing for me, is when I ask people, what do you want? What do you really want? There's this look, this faraway look like, really want? Huh. Well, I know what I don't want.
I know what I don't want.
I know what I don't want. So a good trick to know is if you know what you don't want, then flip it around and you know what you do want. So I want to leave you with some Sikh wisdom. So in the Sikh tradition, they define God as some virtues and values. Okay? So these are values of the divine. And what I know is, as Lyle said about the first song, do you play another song? That when we're talking about God, we're talking about the God within, the God that we all are, that aspect of the divine that's within each of us. So if these are the values of the divine, these are our divine values and virtues. Okay, so I want you to just settle into that and explore how this is you. That maybe by looking at these these 7 or 8 different virtues and values, we can begin to know ourselves at a more intimate, more creative, more inspiring and empowered way. Sound good? Okay. What?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the first one is the one I already spoke about, which is to be in congruence, to be in alignment, have your thoughts, your words, your actions, and how you feel all lined up. That's the first one. The second one is to live with integrity, to always do the right thing, even when nobody knows, even when nobody's looking, to always do the right thing. And what's the right thing? You know. You don't need someone outside to tell you what that is. You know. You know. A lot of this spiritual path is about you trusting yourself, knowing that you have the capability within you to discern what is for you and what's against you. What is for you and what's against you. We all know that, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. The third one is to be creative. Now, we're all here to be creative. And I don't mean just paint or throw pots or make flower arrangements. I mean be creative with numbers. Be creative with words. Be creative with ideas. Be creative with your house. Be creative the way you drive down the road. You can make anything into a creative process, because that is the nature of what and who we are. We are a part of creation, and we have the ability to create and evolve through us. You create your masterpiece. So get into the mindset of that is one of your God-given faculties, to be creative. So own it, become conscious of it. Remember, you live by default or you live by design. Be in tune with your creative process, the divine creative process. Live with courage. Be you. Be you to the full. Beautiful. It's beautiful when you are you. We all love that. So have the courage to be you, to know when to say yes and when to say no, what you stand for and what you stand not for, and to thine own self be true. There's nothing more beautiful than someone that is just true. Don't you love being with someone that you know where you stand with them? You know that when they say yes, they mean it. They're not just saying yes because they're trying to please you. And when they say no, they really mean it. And you can honor and respect that. There's a certain level of respect that comes with our friends, especially our family, that can really be true to themselves. Express love for all. Express love for all. That doesn't mean we have to love what everyone does, but we can express love and appreciation for all beings. Maybe it's with a gaze, maybe it's with a thank you, or maybe it's with just a nice comment, or maybe it's by a nice gesture. We can show our love in just being present to all people. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to love. That's what we all have in common. Be consistent. Be consistent. And recognize the power within the self, that creative power. Know that everything that you say has power, that we affect people around us through the words we say, by the actions we have. So realize that power. Realize that you're a powerful being everywhere you go. And then I think as we realize our power, as we identify our purpose, as we nurture those seeds of our values, that the natural and the last piece of this seek wisdom is to be thankful, be grateful. And I think if we've done all of those steps, if we're living in that way, that sounds really authentic and life-affirming, that the natural result is gratitude. Because when we value ourselves, when we give ourselves permission to identify our desires, to establish our intentions, to give our intentions attention, and to actually take the human footsteps to manifest our desires, then we're living in a world where everyone's just grateful, not just because that we're all doing good in the world, but we're grateful for just being alive. We have this indwelling atmosphere of gratitude that comes out because we are actually acknowledging the life that we have, this God-given life that we have. We're grateful for it because we're doing what we love to do. We're serving humanity by sharing what we love to do, by giving our divine gifts, and that just naturally equals gratitude. So we're creating that. You create it by being true to yourself, by nurturing those seeds of desire within you, and sharing your gifts abundantly. By sharing your gifts abundantly. So that's my message for you today. That's my gift. So please go forth, spread the seeds, and create forests. Let's create a forest of radical, free-thinking, amazing, positive beings. Okay? All right, so I'd like to harness this energy. Everyone harness their energy, bring it into your heart center. Sometimes we lose our energy and it goes all the way out there, so let's just bring all of our energy into our heart center. And I speak these words in the first person, and if you align with them, so be it. There is one life, one power, and one presence. And this is it. It's everything I hear and I see and I feel and I know. This is the life of the divine. This is spirit. This is infinite organizing intelligence, seen and unseen. And I am a part of it. All beings, all sentient beings are part of this one power, this one life, this one presence. And so today I acknowledge that. I recognize it. I unite and become one in it, knowing that this intelligence, my very mind, can be used to focus on what I desire. And today I speak my word, focusing my faith, focusing my desire on what I want to breathe life into. And so today I speak the word for joy and peace and love and harmony and creativity and fun and abundance and prosperity. I speak the word for ease and flow. I know that I am here to be a beneficial presence on this planet, and I know that when I'm still enough, when I'm quiet enough, I can hear that still, small voice within me, always nudging me, always guiding me, always directing me to just the right person, just the right opportunity. And I know that these sweet little messages from the universe that show up as people and phone calls and ideas and signals, they all show up at the perfect timing for me to take the next step on my evolutionary path that moves me into being myself more fully. The whole universe conspires to support my success, and for this I am blessed. I am so grateful that I have a mind that can say yes to that seed within me that wants to be expressed as beauty on this planet. I truly feel and know that I am the voice of God speaking. I am the mind of God thinking. I am the hands of God serving in my unique way. So I say yes to that. I say yes to that today. I say yes to being a beneficial presence on this planet. I say yes to wholeness. I say yes to beauty. I say yes to grace, infusing itself into my life in spite of me. I say thank you. Thank you for all of the blessings. Thank you for my friends and family. Thank you for my vocation. Thank you for my hobbies and the way I express myself creatively. And I send this blessing out to all beings. May all beings without exception be happy and healthy and strong. May all beings without exception be harmonious with life, walk in loving kindness, and live and love with ease. May all people, may all sentient beings be happy, be really happy, be happy for no reason. Life is wonderful. I give great thanks. And so thank you.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence today and being a part of the Satya Center. You're invited to join Reverend Ali and Reverend Lyle each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for your dose of connection, inspiration, and co-creation. The Satya Center is located at 795 24th Street, Ogden, Utah. For directions, a map, and our service times, please see our website, thesatyacenter.org. This program was brought to you by the kind donations from the members of the Satya Center. Thank you.